Searching for this all my life. You're just my type. I've been looking for a boy who can treat me right. Your dark hair, but those eyes so bright.
All right, today is an exciting day. I am in New York City. I just flew in from Toronto. I came here for the one and only Michael Rapaport. Get into some shenanigans with me. How we doing?
I'm good. I'm excited to be on the podcast. Excited to be talking to you in the crest, the precipice, almost the apex, because we're almost at the finale, almost at the reunion of Vanderpump Rules 2023. What an incredible. What a
crazy.
Incredible. And also, I will say, last week, frustrating season.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say frustrating, I say it almost in a good way, because keeping track of all the shit that has happened all season long, and then tying it back to the past, and tying it back to last season, and tying it back to 4 years ago, and tying it back to 7 years ago, and all the Instagram, and all the Facebooks, and then, then the rewinds from it was like, what the fuck? Like, how did we get here?
I know. I don't know, but here we are.
Have you found that the interest in the show and the popularity of the show has gone to a completely different level?
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is a level I don't think we've ever been on. I feel like the first few seasons, we had a lot of hype around us. We were doing shows like The View and big shows like that. And then I felt like it kind of plateaued for a bit. It died down. We had season 6, which is one of my biggest regrets. And then,
where was season 6?
It was the Rob season.
Yes.
So we can just X-nay on that. And then season 8, they tried to bring in a bunch of new people and no one cared about that. Then we had a pandemic season and everyone coming for Brock.
Yeah.
And so it was just like, where is the show going? Where can we go? And then season 10 came around and here we are with the highest ratings we've ever had, I think, live.
Oh, it's got to be by far.
Yeah, it was just under 1.5 this past week.
The last episode.
Yeah. And then it's like each episode keeps getting crazier.
Right.
So this week was our original finale, which when I watched it, I was like, oh my God.
But you watched
crazy.
it. How long ago did you watch it?
So I watched it, I guess it was March 22nd, the day before we filmed the reunion. So it was more of a rough cut too.
Okay. And now everything has changed and there's a new finale.
Yeah.
That's going to air next week.
Yes.
And then how many parts of the reunion is there?
3.
3.
And then I think there's a bonus footage episode also.
Of
different scenes that didn't make it in the show.
Right.
But I don't know. I haven't seen anything past this week. I have not seen yet. I've only seen the leak trailer, the trailer that Bravo scrambled to put back out right after that was leaked. So
Right.
I know what I lived and filmed with Ariana, the girls' night, and with Tom Sandoval, but I have not seen that put all together yet.
You haven't seen the new shit?
No, only the trailer. And I was not prepared to see that trailer. When it leaked that morning,
right,
I watched it and I was actually, I think I maybe sent it to you too.
No, I didn't. Yes, you did.
Okay,
You did.
I was
yes.
I was shaking. I was
yeah.
whoa. I was not ready for that.
So when you guys shoot, you film, when you see the stuff back, you don't know what's going to be in, what's not going to be in. You don't know how it's going to sort of be pieced together and all that stuff. So that's got to be such a trip.
Well, yeah.
And the skill, one thing that, I bullshit around and I joke, but the skill, especially nowadays, especially on your show and all things on Bravo, filmmaking and the storytelling and the editing is so well done.
Yeah.
I don't think people that are non-filmmakers understand that. I've never been on a reality TV show set, and I don't know if I ever want to because I think it'll fuck up the amount of joy and sort of surprise and interest that I have.
Yeah.
So it's I'm kind of glad, but I do know, I can read, the amount of cameras and, and all that, the technical aspect of reality TV. And I don't think people understand, just like the storytelling. You shoot so much footage and then you chop it down into 50.
So much. It's so crazy. I mean, the scene that I filmed with Sandoval was like an hour and a half long.
Which scene?
And then finale.
Yes.
Which I haven't seen yet. Because I'm like, how are you guys going to edit that down? Every single thing I said was important. But it's like the final act of the show. So however long that is, I don't know.
Of the season.
Of the season, yeah.
Don't say the show.
No, of the season. We're already picked up for season 11.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday. I was like, oh, that's nice.
Do you have any idea when you're going to start shooting season 11? I feel like I'm interviewing you. Like, this is what I would do on my podcast.
We usually film anytime around my birthday until mid-July is when we started last season. So I would think anytime probably in June we would start.
They want to keep going while
Yeah, strike while the iron's hot.
Because the iron's fucking hot.
Oh my God, it's so hot. It's a lot. I mean, okay. I have seen your vlogs. I love how passionate you get about the show. Tom Sandoval, Rachel, Roquel, whatever you want to call her. I want to know, do you remember where you were when the scandal broke out? What were your initial thoughts? Like, let's just get into it.
When the scandal broke out, I was definitely my wife told me she saw it on somewhere on social media, probably Instagram. That's the hub, right? For this kind of stuff. Twitter's other things. I guess you could have seen it on Twitter, but I didn't imagine that it was gonna. I didn't imagine it was gonna be this. Like, I wasn't like expecting the whole thing to go fucking crazy the way it went. And then like I think like 2 days after it, then I was like started to get like frustrated by it, and sort of like oh shit, like it's gonna become in like this sort of pop culture, reality culture, a moment, and then like I said, going back and sort of piecing together and the thinking, and then because one of the things that when I've been really checking out Rachel, aka Rochelle, aka Raquel, is that I can't figure out, and I'm sure you guys can't figure out exactly, like, she's a trip because I can't figure out like if she's like if she's calculated, if she's nuts, if she's gone girl gone shit,
right?
Or if she's like what did Lala call her, a demonic
dumb demon,
a dumb demon, or a baby something like that. I can't figure it out. Like I try to see.
You're telling me. I'm like, are you manipulative and calculated? Are you stupid? Are you what is it? Because now I clearly don't know.
Have you had this conversation with her?
I've had this conversation with myself.
No, but have you had that conversation? Have you asked her? Like
Rachel?
Yes.
No, I've not seen her, Michael. I didn't get to film the reunion with her. I had the temporary restraining order in place. So if she comes back for season 11, I guarantee we're going to be put in the same room together, because that's just how the shit works. Lisa Vanderpump's going to have to host a lot of events because there's not one other person on the show to bring us all together. So I have not had a conversation with her. I have not gotten an apology from her. I have had zero communication since that night here in New York after Watch What Happens Live.
After you found out?
After I found out.
Because of the alleged physical confrontation, or what is?
She said I punched her.
Did you punch her?
I did not punch her. No, I did not punch her. I can't really form a fist.
Is your restraining, right, because of your nails?
Yeah.
Is your restraining order in the state of New York or in the state of California?
No, it was in the state of California. So she flew back, waited 6 days, filed a restraining order. I'm like, so you weren't scared for 6 days? But then 6 days later, you're like, no, I'm going to need a restraining order.
And do you know where she is right now as we record this podcast?
No, I have no idea.
Is she still in a facility?
So from what I understood, she was at Miraval where they filmed like Real Housewives of Orange County. It's like a wellness retreat.
Okay. And then what about the alleged, was it Joshua Tree with the Toms went away on a
Big Bear.
Big Bear.
They did do Big Bear.
And now you know that there's an Instagram photo where they're saying that the two Toms went to Big Bear, but Rachel, aka Raquel, was on this trip.
Yeah. No, her and that girl Jo, who Schwartz was dating, came and joined them in Big Bear.
And this was after everything got blown out.
This was before. This was literally like
Oh, this was before.
Yeah. So they went to Big Bear, I don't know, January, February. There were these fans who posted in a Facebook chat and was like, oh, we met them last night in Big Bear.
Right.
And
you can't fuck around.
No.
I mean, these days, this day and age, you can't do shit. You cannot do a fucking thing.
But the thing was, I think they thought they were so smart because no one would think anything was going on. It was just like, oh, there's the Vanderpump people.
Right.
You know, oh, Ariana's at home. You know, oh, Scheana couldn't make it or whatever. It didn't seem weird that
until later
they were hanging out. To the outside people who didn't really understand the friendship, I think it looked weird. Like to Katie, to Lala, to Allie. Obviously, they were seeing things differently than we were.
Right.
Ariana and I are like, that's not weird. It's not weird that she got in the hot tub with them. It's not weird she dipped out and stayed the night. It's not
that
weird.
was one of the things that really fucking pissed me off last week. with Tom Sandoval with the fucking dipped.
Yeah.
Like he was misusing.
I know.
And he was lying and also misusing the term at the same time, which really fucking bothered. And
I know.
And to watch him give 5 or 6 different answers. Number one, you know that the writers are currently on strike, but there's writers, high-end Hollywood television writers that would not be able to write that kind of shit.
Yeah.
The dip. And when he's telling Ariana dipped, when he's telling Lisa he dipped, she dipped. Who else did he tell? Brock that he dipped, she dipped. And then, you know, it's like in the hot tub, she took a dip, but she dipped, but then she dip.
No,
means,
she dipped out.
means leaves.
Yeah.
Left.
Yes.
Like the term, the fucking slang, the origins of dip mean dip. Yo, I'm dipping out.
Yes. You're leaving. You are exiting the house.
Exiting, leaving. No longer here. Vamos.
Yes.
And to be fucking up the slang and lying while you're fucking up the slang, that also got me really fucking angry.
I know.
And it's time to get rid of the fucking nail polish. I just want him to, like, everything needs to be dialed the fuck back.
Yeah.
All of it. The whole thing needs to be dialed back. The whole thing. And it just, but between him and her, but particularly her, that Bambi-eyed bitch, who, it's just such a good term.
I know. It is a good one.
But she's really fucking fascinating. She's a trip because to see her in the former finale episode that just aired, to see her sitting in front of Ariana again and asking about the sex life.
I can't. That was like my biggest
See, that shit's that's deviant shit.
Yeah.
That's devious.
Yes.
And like fucked up.
Yeah. It was
like,
literally...
what are you, Dr. Joyce Brothers? Are you a sex therapist? Like, what are you asking this question for?
It's like she was gaslighting Ariana to break up with him. It was like, well, you know, when I knew I wasn't happy anymore. And it was just watching it and seeing, like, knowing what she was doing at the time and then saying this to one of her closest friends. It just... I still have a hard time wrapping my head around it. I just watched it again. I hadn't watched it since right before the reunion, so a little over a month ago. I'm watching it again. I'm just like, what the fuck?
And you, when was the last time you spoke to Ariana? Like, you speak to her all the time.
Yeah, yesterday.
So where's her head at with everything?
I mean, she's in a good place now. Like, now she's doing really well. But I mean, initially, not at all.
Has she seen Rachel, aka Raquel?
No. No one has.
Did she see her at the reunion?
Yes. She filmed the reunion and then no one's seen her since then except...
Has there been a trailer for the reunion that's come out yet?
No.
Okay, so I was going to say, what can you say about the reunion?
Yeah.
Is it going to live up to people's expectations?
I certainly think so. I mean, all of our reunions get so heated. So this one was no different. But, there's people storming off. There's people almost fighting. There's people yelling. I mean, it's everything you would expect from a reunion.
Okay.
But yeah, watching that conversation back. And then even like last week when you see Sandoval lying about not leaving the barbecue in time. And he's like, well, no, I mean, he left,
at one
but
point,
I thought you wanted to be alone. It's like, that's the best you could come up with right now.
yeah, that was fucked up. That was fucked up. And also, you can't get a ride. Take an Uber.
So we were in Newport Coast.
Well, there's
in,
no
the
Ubers in
Crystal
Newport
Cove
Coast?
area, and
It's a what?
apparently
A what
in, like
over?
Crystal Cove.
What does that have to
It's like a
There's
little
Ubers
private
everywhere.
area. Right. So we were there. His friend said he was leaving, and I guess Lala and her mom witnessed this conversation, and he was like, "All right, cool, go." And then they hear him on the phone with Ariana, and he's like, "Oh, I guess Jason left, and now I can't get a car, and so I'm gonna stay." And they're
You
like,
could get a car.
"But you're lying. You're lying."
Clearly was lying. And it was wild. That was one of the most bugged out episodes. Do you think that, like, if you took like all the episodes ever, do you think, I mean, I know it's kind of like the dust needs to clear off of episodes before you say, but where would you put that episode in most? That to me,
It was so good with the backwards and
the
the
rewind
forwards
shit was
and-
when Lala was sitting with DJ James Kennedy, respectfully. When she was sitting with DJ James Kennedy and they went to the rewind, and to think out of all the people, fucking Ken.
Yeah. I know.
To
Ken.
think that fucking Ken was the one who really sort of opened up the whole thing.
Yeah.
And he just did it inadvertently in passing.
Yeah.
But I would love, what about Lisa in terms of like what she knew, what she doesn't know? Does it matter what she knows, what she doesn't know? Like, is Lisa hands off with you guys? Like, what, because
in that sense, she doesn't want to get involved. But I also don't think she knew anything. I think she was seeing some stuff was off. It's like, why are you lying? Why are you hanging out when Ariana's not there? Like, this is weird. But to us who were in it, we didn't think it was weird. It was like, oh yeah, Raquel's with the Toms. Like, that's not weird because no one ever thought anything other than Katie and Lala.
what do you know now? Again, I feel like I'm interviewing you. What do you know now about the Tom's relationship?
I'm not sure. I know Schwartz is in Australia right now filming a show. So I don't know if they're kind of on a little friendship break or what. I have not talked to him in a few weeks. I don't know because I mean Sandoval put him in an impossible situation by telling him about a one-night stand, but then telling him about the full affair, and then it's like, when did you really find out? Because
He
now
knew. He fucking.
And now,
let me
like,
tell
in
you
these
something,
episodes-
dudes. We will. He knew. I'm not saying I know that for sure, but I'm saying based on the way close guys talk, especially that age, he knew.
See, and then there's like a few scenes in the last two episodes where we're all at glamping and you see Schwartz go, be careful, Brock, Tom, Raquel has a type. And she's like, a type for blood? And he's like, men who are taken. But Schwartz already knew then. Sandoval had already told him by glamping. In between the wedding and glamping, Schwartz found out.
Right.
So you're just like doing these digs. And then is that why you wanted to like fist bump Raquel and not make out with her anymore? Because now you knew, because they never made
But
out
I thought
again.
she knew. I thought he knew before. I thought he knew at your wedding.
He said he found out after the wedding.
He said he found out after the wedding.
Yes.
He's on record saying he found out after the wedding. Wasn't Lala say that she doesn't believe that?
I mean, none of us know what to believe anymore.
I don't believe that.
You know, I couldn't believe that
They're
Schwartz.
fucking wild, man. Yo, that fucking Rachel, that fucking Raquel,
Wow.
they're fucking wild.
Literally, that's.
She's bugged out. She is a trip.
I mean,
You can learn. I tell all actresses that I'm friendly with, I always go, you watch Housewives, you watch Bravo, and I'll go, you need to watch these shows because you could be so inspired, like as an actor, as an actress, particularly as an actress, because the majority of her are women.
Yeah.
Because like as a character study, if you watch her, like there's no indication that when she's talking to Ariana, there's no indication. When she's like, you guys are my best friends and you guys are my core group and these are the best at her birthday.
Right.
You don't see any, like, normal people, you could pick up like a something. You don't see anything. Like,
No.
she plays that shit straight. And that's why I'm like, yo, what's your deal?
Right. And that's what makes me question everything with her because I'm like, how did I never see any of this? How did I believe all of this? How did you get away with it for as long as you did? And then it's like watching it back when I see the words coming out of her mouth and I'm looking in her eyes and it's just like, is there darkness? Is there anything? Is it a blank slate? Is it just like what? I don't know. Like this person, Rachel, who filed a restraining order against me, I do not know that person at all.
That shit's crazy.
It's so crazy. It's wild is putting it mildly.
But the show must go on. Because
Yeah.
when we were on Watch What Happens Live, there was like, you or Andy were saying something and, I don't know what. The show must go on.
Yeah. When you're like, well, where are you going to go? And he's like, we're going to figure it out.
Right.
We always do because that's the thing is there's always one person on the show, whether it's me, Ariana, James, there's one core cast member who can still bring everyone together. If they throw something, they can invite everyone. James did it with the beach day.
Right.
He invited everyone.
Right.
I've been that person a lot. Ariana's been that person a lot. There's no longer that person outside of Lisa Vanderpump. So for season 11, the only way we're all coming together is Lisa better be throwing a lot of events. I don't know if it's Vanderpump Dogs. I don't know if it's a pump closing.
You'd be fucking grooming some dogs or brushing some dogs or clipping some dog nails or something.
Because there's no one else bringing everyone together. So
at this point.
I don't see it changing.
And is James still with what's his girlfriend's name again?
Allie, yeah.
They're still together.
Yes.
Little Allie. How old is little
I love
Allie?
her. She's like 27, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we love her.
Okay.
Yeah. We just did Stagecoach with them.
Oh, right.
And then they came to my birthday on Sunday.
This past Sunday?
Yeah.
And who else from the cast came to your birthday?
Katie was there.
Okay.
Ariana.
Okay.
Jax, Brittany, Kristen.
Were you filming? Are you allowed to say were you
No,
filming?
I vlogged. Yeah, so stay tuned for that. But then it was like right when Kristen walked in and then James and Al, and I was like, oh, yeah, I guess I wasn't thinking about all of this.
Right.
And then Allie met Kristen, and but I know Kristen, she has nothing bad to say about
Right.
Allie, and she was
Right.
really nice about her on Watch What Happens Live as well. But yeah, it was a fun party since the MTV Awards got canceled.
Mhm.
We had no plans that day. Our plan was,
You guys
glam,
are going to go to the MTV Awards?
Yeah, we won.
No, I know. But, right, you guys were in that. Right, the
We
whole
were
thing.
presenting,
Right.
nominated, and then we freaking won.
Right,
And we just accepted it like it was 2020 from
right,
my dining room.
right. Reality TV, I mean, I think this writer strike is going to go on for a few months.
Yeah.
And reality TV, this is where you separate the fucking men
No.
from the fucking little boys because
Yeah.
reality TV.
Yeah. So, as a scripted actor,
Yes.
how is this strike affecting you right now?
Right now, it's not affecting me, but because it just started.
Right.
It's going to catch up with everybody because I don't want to misspeak on certain things in regards to the strike, but there's still things that that if they were sort of, let me just say, if they were handed in to the Writers Guild, they can go into production. Then it becomes, do you want, as an actor, to do something that's in production while they're striking? And are you not supporting the strike? I have to sort of get the deal on that. But this strike is going to be fucked up because of, obviously money's always an issue and streaming's an issue. But the thing that I didn't realize how much of an issue was, and I just started playing around with this app, is this AI shit is real.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize how
The chat GTP.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know, like that it has these capabilities of like, you know, somebody was saying like, you know, if you have a book, obviously there's different levels of it, but if there's like a book that's being turned into a script,
Yeah.
you know, the book can sort of, you know, give you an outline in a first draft. Not to say that you won't need writers to punch it up, writers to formulate it, but the fact that it can sort of give you a parameters of a, you know, it could take a book and turn it into a script. That right there is insane.
Yeah.
And it's just going to get better and better and better and better
Yeah.
and better. That shit's crazy. That tripped me out. And one thing I know about the strike is that as of now, the studios haven't said, yeah, we're not fucking with AI. They haven't like said we're not doing it.
Oh.
So that's a problem.
Yeah. No, I've seen it. Brock will literally just be sitting at his computer and he'll just say like, write me a poem about this. And then it's just like, boom, right there, instantly. It's wild.
Yeah, that's crazy. And what it's doing with like when it's like taking like, you know, Tupac and making, you know, or Michael Jackson singing, I'm like, what the fuck? But that is that along with the obviously the money, you know, money always being an issue. That this strike is going. I think that this strike is going to last a long time because, you know, when streaming first started, however many years ago was, you know, when you would do a show like on Netflix, like, oh, I'm just doing like almost Netflix was like this like C-level thing to do a show.
Yeah.
Now it's top A+ level place to do a show.
Oh,
And they're
totally.
Hulu and Amazon, they weren't doing shows. So, you know, it's coming to a head.
Yeah.
And as far as fans, the fans out there, you know, your favorite shows they're, you know, like if you're expecting it to come in September, it's not going to come in September. And the late night shows and all that shit.
Yeah.
It's you know, I don't know how it's going to work, but you should be happy doing a reality show.
I'm very happy to be in the
Who's
unscripted
laughing now? Right. Who the
department
fuck
right
is
now.
laughing now? Right in the unscripted,
Yeah.
unscripted world.
Yeah. So crazy. Okay, I got a ton of questions
All right, go ahead.
for you. Before we get into those, just going to take a quick little break.
Okay.
All right, everyone, it is Factor Fridays again. The sound over there is the microwave heating up my Fiesta grilled chicken with hominy tomato sauce and elote style squash in 2 minutes. Almost done. These meals, there we go. These meals are always fresh, never frozen. 2 minutes in the microwave. I'm gonna plate this and I'll be right back. Just like that, lunch is served. They have so many options. They've got vegetarian, keto, like something for everyone delivered straight to your door. And they have these awesome smoothies that I love too. All right, a lot of questions came in for you.
Okay.
Show GD, what Bravo show would you want to be on?
You know, to be honest, I'm such a fan of the Bravo shows, like I was saying, that if I was on one, it would, in my opinion, jeopardize something that particularly me and my wife get so much joy out of. Like, so that being said, I mean, if I was going to say which one could I realistically be one, it would I mean, I couldn't be a Real Housewife.
But could your wife?
My wife, I mean, she would be sort of a good Real Housewife, but as much as I talk shit, my wife just talks. Like she just
That's
talks.
great for reality TV.
That's great for reality TV,
Yes.
but also like, you know, not necessarily great for her or us, because I'd be like, what the fuck are you saying? You know, like I'd be like what the fuck are you talking? Because she just talks. Like she's very, very unfiltered in terms of she's not necessarily like uncensored, but she's like just unfiltered. Like she is who she is. And in a format of because people have talked to us about doing some stuff.
Yeah.
And that was always like, yo, you need to make sure you're aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
Like be a fucking professional. You know, don't be, you know, that would be my concern. But that would be, I mean, I'm such a fan, so I don't know where I would fit in.
Yeah.
I don't know where I would fit in and what show. But I mean, it would have to be like a husband of my wife on of Real Housewives of New York would be my shit.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I couldn't be a Real Housewife.
Right.
In a perfect world, I would be a Real Housewife. I could maybe
that.
say I'm identifying as a Real Housewife and be on the Real Housewives of New York.
Right? I mean.
What the fuck?
So how long have you been a Bravo fan?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
I'd have to track back, but it's been a while. I mean, I'd have to figure out the year. But
Like from like the original Housewives, like season 1?
Season 2 of New York, or I don't know which came first at this point. Was New York the first? New York was the first, right? Or
I thought Orange County.
Or was it Orange County?
No, Orange County's going on like season
You're right, Orange
17.
County. Yeah, Orange County. Because Vicky Gumbels is the OG
She's like
of the OC.
OG, yeah.
OG of the OC, respectfully. So I got into it from New York and Atlanta. And I don't remember which one was first. I think it was New York. But the way I got into Bravo and Real Housewives, it's like, I remember New York used to come on Sundays, I believe. Or Atlanta would come on Sundays. But let's say New York was on Sundays, and I would all day Sunday football.
Right.
And I remember one particular Sunday, like my fantasy football wasn't going well, and because like we had it sectioned off, like the bedroom is for my TV, and football's like in my room.
Yeah.
But I gave up on my football that day, and I was just like, oh fuck it, let me just. I can't complain because I'm not watching my football. You watch, and I was just watching New York, and it was Bethany and Ramona in them, and I was just like, what the fuck is their deal? Like, and my wife started explaining, well, this one's this one's that, and then I was just kind of like kept watching, and
Gets you hooked in.
it gets you hooked in,
Yeah.
especially if you don't judge. And I wasn't judging it because I was just like, what the fuck is going on here? Like what has happened? Like but the fact. Oh, and then Jersey with the Judices and the Gorgas.
Oh, yeah.
That fighting was very, very, very Sopranos, very, very New York, very New Jersey. And like, I was like, what the fuck? And then I just kept watching.
Yeah.
And then I just love it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I watch. I watch sports and reality TV. I watch other shows, but the majority of what I watch, my must-see TV is my reality shows and sports.
I love that.
That's a fact.
Yeah. I remember the first time I met you, it was maybe like season 2. It was like in Beverly Hills, a little gifting suite. I don't even know if they do those really anymore, but it was like for like the Emmys or the Oscars, and we would always get invited to these little gifting suites.
Right.
And I have watched you on TV for as long as I can remember.
Right.
But you knew who I was. And I
Right.
was like, oh, wait, what?
Right.
And I was like, oh my God, he watches. And ever since I've done a podcast, I've always wanted to have you as a guest. I know we've talked about it over the years. And then we just did Watch What Happens Live together.
Yep.
We didn't get a podcast then. So I was so happy that we were finally able to make this work.
Besides me, Michael Rapport, what would be your top 3 celebrities that you were like, oh shit, that they recognized you, that you were fans of?
Miley Cyrus.
Where'd you meet her?
At her house, actually. So our little sisters used to hang out a lot when they were younger. And it was Noah's birthday with Liam as well. It was like a joint birthday party. And I met Miley. And then we had hung out a couple times.
Are you
after
serious?
that. Yeah. Yeah.
Were
so
you
that was
tripping
like
out off that?
very surreal.
And she watched the show.
Yeah. So at the time, her best friend was telling her about the show. And she's like, this is Scheana. She's on that show. I've been telling you, you need to watch. She's like, I know, I got to catch up. I need to watch it. And then the next time I saw her at Tom Tom, she was like, oh my God, Scheana. And then she had already like watched it.
And she was
up,
in.
And we hung out that entire
That's
night.
cool.
And it was so fun.
That's cool.
So she was definitely up there because I've been a fan of her since
Right. Yeah,
Hannah
she's dope.
Montana.
Right.
And then Chrissy Teigen and John Legend, he did a piano version of Good as Gold. They sang it on Instagram Live in the pandemic. And that was just crazy.
Right.
Hearing J-Lo the other day on The View said that she's seen the show.
But I wasn't quite sure if J-Lo was telling the truth or not.
I think she's heard of it, at least.
Yeah, yes. Of course, everybody's heard of it.
Yeah, Chris Pratt.
Right.
That I just saw Karen.
Right.
They were doing some little like interview thing in a cute little studio. And he was like, well, yeah, because she watches Vanderpump Rules. And I was like, it's everywhere again. It's like the cover of the New York Post. It's on CNN's homepage. I mean, it's been everywhere.
And who was was it Ariana and Lala was at the White House correspondent?
Yeah, with Lisa.
That is crazy.
They're like cracking jokes about it, like at the White House. Like what?
And did you talk to them about it?
About
being at the
I haven't seen them yet. No, so we haven't like actually caught up on how all that went. I saw Ariana
because when you see politicians and they recognize you, that's got to be bugged out.
Yeah.
You know, like the good, the bad, the whatever. Like like maybe reality TV could bring the parties together.
Yeah, right.
Vanderpump Rules. You guys should hold like a forum for the Republican and Democrat Party.
Oh my God.
At BravoCon, that would be sick.
I don't know how well that would go.
No, I think you guys could, because you would soften them.
Yeah.
Because in a way, politicians are like reality stars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They have their personas.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And there's good guys and there's bad guys, and it's all based on people's opinions. But like, you know, we see as civilians, politicians in one way. You don't see them at your coffee place. You see them on TV. You see them on Fox News. You see them on CNN. You see them at, giving their press conference. We see them in very sort of, they kind of have the same kind of feeling, like you'd recognize them from any angle. You're like, oh shit, there's whoever it might be.
Right.
Not to go down the political road. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, kind of on that topic, Erica_on the town wanted to know, what's one issue that you wish people were more educated on?
I mean, when I say people, I mean, one issue that I need to be more educated on is, I mean, there's so many fucking things. It's overwhelming, the amount of shit that's going on in this country. And I mean, I think that term fake news, it's so fucking challenging to get the real truth about a story, whether it's so fucking hard. It's so hard, and there's more outlets than ever, yet it's more impossible, because if you read, I don't care what side of this the political fence you're on, if you only listen and watch one side, you're only going to get that point of view. If you only listen to the other side, you're only going to get that point of view. So I mean, what's real at the border, immigration, like what the fuck is really real? Because you turn on one station, shit is this. You turn on another station, shit is, and it's like, it's just not. It's not right.
Yeah.
It's not right. It's not right that it's like they confuse us all. That shit's really frustrating me. So I would say, immigration just at the top of my head.
Yeah.
Top of my list.
For sure. All right. Back to Bravo.
Go.
Eliza_Vaughn 57. What did you think about Teresa and Louis' breaking of the fourth wall? Are you caught up?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I love when shows do that personally.
Do you?
I feel like maybe our new finale that I haven't seen yet, there might be some of that, because like just the conversations we have, and at the reunion, obviously we break the fourth wall. But when I see that on a reality show, it's so fascinating to me, because it reminds you you're watching a TV show.
Yes. And I think like Teresa and Louis doing it, talk about being in the fucking trenches for year after year after year after year with Teresa Giudice. And, I mean, I love it. I love it. I don't know what the context of her question was. I love it, not to go down a Real Housewives of New Jersey, rabbit hole. Although I'm sure your fans probably are, the Teresa Louis relationship is concerning. Louis is concerning. I thought Louis was not. I think the whole thing is concerning. It's concerning, and I one thing as a fan like of Jersey, like I sometimes want to sit down with Teresa and Joe, her brother Joe, and just sort of mediate, because I feel like they miss each other.
Yeah.
And what's a weird thing about their relationship? They act like a divorced couple that that hates each other. And I'm like, yo, you're brothers and sister. Like your
Right.
brother, like this shouldn't be that fucking hard. They act like a divorced couple that fucking like is sharing kids.
Yeah.
And they just, I'm like, yo, just, who cares? Forget the past. You've said things. She said things. You're brother and sister. You weren't married. There's no kids. Like, you're not fighting over, like, custody or money. It shouldn't be. It's very fucking, it is dysfunctional.
Yeah.
That shit is dysfunctional. And I'm sure other people in their life have had this exact conversation and it all goes, but she this. But it's like, because it's crazy. You know, if you, like, just don't speak to that person anymore. But
Right.
it's the brother.
Yeah.
It's not your ex-wife or your ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend. So it's fucked up. Their relationship, you know, like I was saying on my vlog last week, as far as most fucked up things, Teresa Giudice and Joe Giudice and Joe Gorga and all that, I think is number one. Obviously, you know, when people like, you know, Jen Shaw in you know, going to jail and sorry. And, you know, the Erica Jane situation, you know, I don't sort of categorize them in terms of gossipy fodder because they're more serious. Sorry.
Yeah.
But outside of Giudice and Gorga, Scandal is number two in terms of most frustrating,
Yeah.
fucked up things. Because of the way it's sort of played itself out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's frustrating. Like, just like Scandal is frustrating. Like last week's episode was frustrating. The rewind, let's call it the rewind episode. Was frustrating.
Jason and Donna forever. Do you think Tom and Rachel will ever be accepted by the group? Do you see any coming back for them?
Tom and Rachel have to be accepted by the group. That's the fan in me.
Do they?
Well, they don't
They just have to still be on the show. How do you see any of us accepting them back?
You can't accept them back.
Exactly.
Because you're like, right, because you guys are actually like friends.
Yeah, like they
Like, to us,
actually
like, you're like
fucked up.
Yeah,
they
they fucked
actually
up.
betrayed us. They actually lied to us. They actually
how-
did all of this fucked up shit to us and used us to cover it up.
We need marriage. We need like 5-year anniversary.
Oh.
Like we need you guys to become like the Brady Bunch. That's the only way this could sort of be
Yeah.
like, you know what? This was meant to be. This couple, this is super love. This is Ozzy and Sharon. This is you know, this is forever love. This is like an iconic love affair through fire, through storms, tsunamis. They were right. That's the way that they'll prove everybody wrong. Like, and you'll have to go, you know what? They just loved each other. And so sorry.
I mean, you see in the trailer for the finale when she's like giddy and almost laughing. It's like, oh, this went so horribly wrong. It's like, it's so gross and weird. And Cardax wants to know, should Tom Schwartz be canceled too because he is an accomplice and liar?
I don't know if listen, I'm not down with the canceling, but Tom Schwartz, you know, my instinct about dudes and friendships with dudes is he knew. That's just my instinct.
So you think genuinely he knew and he kissed her to cover up for him? You think it went that deep? I don't think Schwartz had that in him.
You don't think he had that?
No, not to cover up in that way.
I'm not necessarily thinking thinking it was to cover up. I just think he knew. I think he knew, listen, if you're trying to get with somebody and you're a dude, like, you know.
Yeah.
Like, your friends will be like, yo, he knows. He knew something. He knew something was inappropriate or looming inappropriate. Or even if you say that, like, yo, that's not you. That he knew.
Yeah.
That's just my feeling.
Kara_Liz wants to know your thoughts on Tom's passion speeches towards Rachel.
On Tom whose?
Sandoval.
On his what?
His like passion speeches, how he's always like pumping her up and like,
Yeah, that was fucked up. That shit last week at the glamping, and you know, and what did he call her? He's like, you know, you're a badass, and like that shit's crazy. It was bugged out. That was so
in front of all of us.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy.
And then they're like hugging while Ariana's on one bed, then they're on the other. And
Yeah,
like,
that was crazy.
that night when we were glamping, we all piled in one bed together and watched this like weird cartoon that Sandoval did a voiceover to. And we're just like all in the zone with the galaxy lights and we're all like cuddling together on the bed. I'm not thinking anything's weird. You know, it's like I'm laying on Brock, then Raquel's kind of laying on me, and then there's Sandoval and Ariana and Schwartz. And now I'm thinking about, I'm like, oh my God. We were all in the same bed.
There was some weird shit going on. When you're there, that's weird shit.
Yes.
What do I think of him pumping her up? Not good.
I am so thankful that I got COVID that week because I wasn't able to go to that night at Sir.
Oh, right.
If I would have walked in and saw Katie going off on Raquel, having no backstory context, not knowing anything that, you know, Katie had filmed and all of that. If I had seen that, I would have just went off. I would have defended her.
Right.
I just had that almost blind loyalty
and
to her.
And you'd have looked like an asshole.
Exactly. I was like, thank God.
You and Katie
COVID.
are cool?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She came to my birthday. I did see Ariana actually after the DC thing, but we didn't talk about it. We just did our acceptance speech, which was like a minute and then they had to leave. But
you and Katie are like, you guys are good now.
Yeah.
Wow, that's big.
Yeah.
She
big. Was just in New York. I just missed her by a day. I was talking to her this morning. I was flying in and she was flying out.
Is she seeing somebody now?
I don't think she's like seen one person specifically. She's just dating and
she needs
fun.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah. I know she had a really good time in Europe. They all did. They were out there for a wedding and they traveled around a bunch.
Right. That looked fun.
I feel like too now the more that I've hung out with Katie in the last like couple of months, I feel a much lighter version of her. She just seems happier and it's just it's nice to see. It's different. I didn't feel that way at the beginning of summer. I felt just like
and that's when the wedding was.
Yeah. But now that we've hung out, I'm like, this is the Katie who I used to be friends with.
What's your again? I'm asking you. What's your biggest regret that's been on the show?
This season or in general?
Just say like, it's hard to say one, but if you're like, fuck, man, there's a one thing that I wish.
I mean, this season, I really do wish that I had a conversation with Katie sooner.
Beforehand.
Yeah. I don't think it would have escalated to where it did. I think she should have still been at the wedding. I think Christina could have been at the wedding if we all just sat down and had a conversation sooner.
Right.
Instead of the petty back and forth, insults, name calling.
Right.
Like we needed to just have a sit down adult conversation.
Right.
But we were both hurt in different ways.
Right.
Based on both of our actions. So that's my one regret of this season.
And what about the entire career of entire run of Vanderpump?
All of season 6.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's my most cringe work I've ever done.
Did you ever imagine, like, when you started doing the show, like, what did you think you were doing when you started doing Vanderpump Rules? Like, what did you imagine you were getting yourself into? Like, what did you foresee it? Like, was it like just a job? Was it an opportunity? Like, what did you think it was going to be? There's no way you would have thought you'd be doing it this many years later.
No. Going on season 11, I could have never imagined.
And it's season 11, but you've been shooting for how many years?
So we shot our pilot in October 2011.
So it's 13 years.
Almost.
Wow.
Because, yeah, then our first season we shot in 2012, and then it was on air in 2013.
Right. So we're going into 13 years. That's
so crazy.
That's wild.
So, no, I could have never imagined this. Like, The Hills was on for, 6 seasons? That was amazing. Like, we could only hope to get that far.
But what did you think you were, like, what did you, like, I know it's hard to say because it's so long ago, but, like, what are you, like, I'm doing this? What did you?
I thought it was going to be a show based on people working in the service industry trying to make it in the entertainment industry. So it was going to follow us on auditions and show, like, me wannabe pop star at the time and acting and all of that. I really thought that was the direction the show was going in.
Right.
But then it just kind of pivoted from that. And
it takes on a life of its own.
Yeah, it's like life happens. And because we are a group of real friends.
Right.
And these are our real lives.
How old were you when you first started?
26.
Damn.
Yeah. I just turned 38 this weekend.
That is fucking bugged out to have yourself documented like that through those years. That's crazy. It's not like, I have television shows and, some interviews and shit like that, but it's a different thing. Like that's bugged out.
Yeah, no, it's crazy to have that much of my life to be able to look back on. It's like, obviously now I do YouTube and like I have those vlogs and that's all like happy and fun and like family videos and whatnot. But when I see people pulling scenes from like season 3.
Are you like, what the fuck is going, like, is this like shake you up?
Also I'm like, I was right. I was on to Sandoval from the beginning. From Miami Girl, I was
right.
He did it. He did it. He did it.
Right.
But it became a thing where it was going to possibly end my friendship with Ariana if I kept going out about it. So I just had to say, okay, this is who my best friend is choosing to date. So now you are also my best friend. We're all going to live happily ever after. And him and I became even closer than we were before we started the show because there was no other option. Ariana wanted to be with him. Miami Girl, that you will see next week some more about that story. We take it all the way back. My conversation with Sandoval is a full decade worth of friendship in one act. Like in one conversation.
Do you know how long the finale is? Is it like 4? It should be 4 hours.
Right? I think it's like another one of the
like
longer
an hour
episodes.
and 20 minutes or something?
Ish.
On TV, like hour.
Yeah, like hour 15.
Oh, man. We need more. We need so maybe some of that'll pop up in those extra scenes.
Maybe.
They're going to do more.
That's the thing. It's like,
They're going to do more. They're going to do more. If you had an hour and a half conversation that you said could be like a whole thing, and it was, let's say hour and a half, and we chopped it down to 30 minutes. Just that alone. And then there's other people that shot other shit.
And there was so much. I mean, we have Tom and Ariana, that scene that they filmed together. Tom and Raquel, the scene they filmed together. We did a girls' night that was basically a funeral. James and Allie filmed. Katie and Schwartz filmed.
And who else did James film with? Sorry, DJ James Kennedy.
I think Lala, maybe Katie. I mean, everyone filmed with everyone. So
there's a lot of
all
footage.
of that to be put in only one episode. Yeah.
No, we need more.
I can't wait to see it.
We need more. We need a bunch more.
I know.
We need a bunch more.
Okay, so I want you to tell me how you really feel about every cast member on Vanderpump Rules.
Okay.
Rapid fire. Lala.
Love her. I love her. I also sometimes want to be like, because I heard, like her talking like Vanderpump, Lisa, about what she wants for their next kid and all that stuff. And like, I love her. I think her tongue, when I mean like her shade, her shit talking, because that's what I really, when my first 2 housewives that I really was attracted to in terms of like, I was like, I like them, was Nene and Bethany, and they're both great shit talkers. Yeah. So that's what I respond to, is like the shit talker. Like she's like, I mean, Bambi-eyed bitch. And, what did she tell her to do when she said, when she said to Raquel this year, bitch. It was a good line. Not devault.
Plug in?
No, not plug in. But it was, it'll come to me. I know the fans know what it is. Anyway, so I love her. Go ahead.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. Now I'm trying to think. What did she say?
It's
always
devault. It's not plug in, not plug. It was God. I know that there's people listening and watching.
Comment below.
Damn it. Anyway, go ahead.
Katie.
I love Katie. I think she's cool. I want the sandwich shop to be good. I think that Tom shitted on her. Again, sometimes I'm like, you don't see the signs.
Yeah.
So I like Katie.
Ariana.
I mean, she's sweet. She's hard not to like. She's very, very, very sweet and very, very likable.
Yeah. DJ James Kennedy.
He's funny too. He's a great shit talker.
Yeah.
I like, he's one of the people you could clearly see the maturity. So that I like, as far as a reality TV show viewer, when you see somebody, the maturity, but you also still see the old DJ James Kennedy come out, like when he's talking, like his shit talking, like his tongue, like his da-da-da-da-da, like he's a good ranter.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
And funny, even when you don't like him, he's hard not to like because he's funny. And I don't think, especially when he's not drunk, or when he's sober, I think he's well-intentioned.
Yeah.
I think he's well-intentioned. I always got that, even when he's being a fucking, like, you're like, yo, my man, you're a fucking douche.
Yeah.
But I think he's very well-intentioned. Like, he seems like he's a genuinely good person.
Yeah.
Well-intentioned.
Yeah.
That's my long-winded
Okay.
answer.
I love that. Schwartz.
I can't tell if this motherfucker's dumb or not.
He's actually really smart.
But you could be smart in a lot of ways.
Like book smart.
No, that means nothing.
Yeah.
That means nothing to me. Book smart means nothing to me. Coming from a person who's not incredibly book smart, like, I'm just like, yo, do you, like, when he was on Watch What Happens Live, that was a perfect.
Oh my God, was that cringe?
That's what I'm saying. So I'm like, you know, and to do that on Watch What Happens Live at this point, and there's a savviness you have from being in front of a camera, filming, doing press. To do that, that's why I'm like, that's why I question the intelligence.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Likeable, funny as fuck.
Yeah.
Whether it's intentional or not, he's fucking funny.
He is.
And very entertaining.
Yeah. Tom and Rachel, we'll just put them together.
They fucked up.
Yeah.
They got darkness in their eyes.
Yeah.
So
did you see what he just did when he was performing in one of his shows recently? And he was like, he does the song Schwartz's mom instead of Jesse's girl, whatever.
Yes.
And then he's like, Schwartzy, can't you see Raquel is not the girl for me? And I'm like, I obviously know the lyrics of that song, but I'm like, that didn't make sense because she is the girl for you and not for Schwartz. So it was like a gross little dig and disrespect, and it was unnecessary, and it just wasn't funny.
It wasn't funny. If I was him, I would listen. I know everybody likes to make their money and their shit. I would just shut it all down for right now.
Yeah.
Fuck the shows. Don't post. Just disappear from it. Like, literally, like, try to stay off. I mean, stay on there, but stay off.
Right.
That's what I would do.
That's what I would do.
I would do, because the shows are not a good look. Any clips are not. You're not gonna. You have to just. You're not going to be able to charm your way out of this shit.
Yeah.
You are not going to be able to charm your way out of this shit.
Agreed.
And, you know, we've spoken on Oriana the whole time. So, I mean, on Rachel the whole time. So, what, I mean, I've.
That's enough.
What more can I fucking ask?
Exactly.
She had me baffled.
I know.
She's baffling. She's fascinating. And like I said, all actresses should watch Vanderpump Rules, specifically younger actresses, because you'll be like, oh, shit.
Get your inspo.
You'll get totally inspired.
Okay, last question. Out of everyone who has been on the show and is no longer on the show, who would you like to see return next season, and who are you happy is no longer on the show?
Damn, that's a good question. I would like to see, well, I love him or hate him. And when I say love him or hate him, I mean love him or hate him. Sandoval, he hasn't exited, but he has to come back. What's her name?
Kristen?
No, she's good too. The one, oh man.
Stassi?
Yes.
You would want to see her back?
Yes.
Okay.
I like her.
And is there someone on the show who you are like glad they're gone?
No. There's no one I'm glad they're gone. And there's no one I want to see go.
Yeah.
I don't want to see anybody go.
Yeah. No, everyone needs to stay. And then I think we need to bring some people back.
Who would you like to see?
I mean, I'm so close with Jackson, Brittany, and Kristen, honestly. Like,
Will they come back, Jack? It seems like they're gone.
Maybe.
Oh.
I mean, they did all come to my wedding. You didn't really see much of them there, but
Because, you know, when you see them on another show, you're kind of like, all right, they're gone.
yeah.
You did that to me, but that would be big. Would people be hyped about that?
Comment below. I don't know. I think so. I hope
like
so.
the comment below shit.
You know?
I like that. I got to start doing that comment below shit.
Yeah. It's my little YouTube thing. So for those of you watching, comment below.
Comment
Let
below.
us
Would you
know.
like to see Jackson Brittany come back?
Yeah. Because I would love that. I would love to have our kids documented together on the show more than just my YouTube channel.
Right.
I'm so close with them. I would love to see that.
All right.
Stay tuned. All right. So what are you working on right now?
The only thing worth mentioning right now, I am on tour doing comedy. I am going to be in Vermont. I am going to be in Burlington, Vermont. I am going to be in Denver. I am going to be in Providence. Those are the next couple of shows. You could get tickets, information in MichaelRappaportComedy.com. And that's my shit right now.
Well, thank
For
you.
Because by the time next time I see you, God only knows what kind of fucking mess we'll be
Tell
dealing
me
with.
about it. I know.
So,
I'll be back in a week, and it's going to be.
you don't know what the fuck you're walking into in a week.
Oh, I know.
Like in a week, we might have to do another podcast because the whole world could shift in Vanderpump.
Okay.
Right.
Let's do it.
Hopefully it doesn't, because enough is, people can only take so much.
I know, but I will be back here over the next few weeks.
Good.
So if we need to get into some more shenanigans.
All right. Well, I appreciate you having me.
Find us at WTF Studios.
Yep.
But seriously, thank you so much for being here. I have wanted to do this for so long.
Good.
This was so fun.
Thank you for having me.
Do you have anyone else you want to rant about?
I've ranted enough.
All
I mean,
right.
we've gone an hour. There's always more, but in the parameters of all things Bravo, I think I've touched on it all and avoided going down rabbit holes of. I could go down a Potomac rabbit hole, a Salt Lake City rabbit hole. There's always
lot of rabbit holes.
For me, there's rabbit holes, so I trying to stay focused in Beverly Hills.
Well, thank you so much. This was so fun. Thank you guys for
I've been
listening.
searching for this all my life.